وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُّدَّكِرٍ.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Welcome back to brothers and sisters. I welcome you all to Madina Book 3. Inshallah, we'll be doing our class 66 today. Continuing from our explanation and exercises from lesson number 18, which is a very big lesson. SubhanAllah, we're doing quite a few sessions on this, but we will do slowly but surely learn all the concepts inshallah from this lesson. So what are we going to do today? So inshallah, we're going to learn some special characteristics of form 2, which is bab fa'ala, and we're going to learn something about the practice iya. So we did this in our previous class, so we're just going to do more practice about iya, and we're going to learn about innama. So these are three things which we are hoping to finish in this lesson, cover in this lesson. So let's move forward. So before we go, just gonna give you a quick revision from what we have learned in the previous class, so which we did about the fa'al ra'a and ara. So here Dr. Abdul Rahim wants us to do an exercise which says yujrat tamrinani shafwiyani latiyani, which means yujra, jara, yujra is to perform, ajira, yujra is to perform something. So to perform two exercises, tamrinani shafwiyani, two oral exercises which are following. So what are those? Yaqulu at-talibu li zamilihi. So the student tells to his colleague, so you can practice with your brothers, sisters, husband, wife, whoever. So what do you say? So you say arini. So what is ari here? Ari is a fi'l amrin majzumun bihazafi harfi illa. So we know ara, yuri. So yuri, turi will be take away the alamati mudariya and we get hamzatul qata back and remove the harfi illa. So show me kitabaka. So kitaba is your maf'ulun bihi and ka is your mudaf ilayhi. So show me your book, or show me your sa'ataka, your watch, or qalamaka, or your pen. And fayujibu qailan, and it is necessary the other person to say fayajibuhu qailan sa'urikahu. So I will show it to you. This is how you can translate. So sa is your, we need to break down how many words are here. We know sa is your harful istiqbal, uri is your fail mudariya, that I will show, ka is your maf'ulun bihi number 1, I will show you, who is your maf'ulun bihi number 2. So there's so many words hidden in one word here. So alhamdulillah, so it means I will show it to you, who or ha, ba'da khalilin, after a while, aw la urikahu, or I will not show you. So either you can say I will show you or I will not show you. So you need to practice this exercise. The second exercise, يقول المدرس لكل طالب أأريتني دفترك. So we need to, and فيجيبه قائلا, and he has to say نعم. So it has to be أريتكه. So I showed it to you. So here the teacher is asking أريتني. So here we need to see that this hamzatul qat'a, that is your hamzatul istifham, the particle of asking question, and the second hamzatul qat'a, what we have, that is your fail arai. So did you show, the ta is your fa'il, nun wiqaya ya mutakallim is your maf'ulun bihi number 1, and daftara is your maf'ulun bihi number 2. Did you show your notebook to me? This is how you would translate. So that is your fail. And fayajibuhu qailan, and the one who says, he has to say naam araitu kahu, I showed it to you. So that's the from the previous class. So what are the special characteristics about this bab fa'ala? So it's very interesting, and it's very nice to see how this expression changes by using this bab. It doesn't happen to all the verbs, but certain verbs, when they're brought into form 2, have a special characteristics. Let's see what are those characteristics. One of the characteristics is called extensive action. What is extensive action? Extensive action is where the action is performed on a large scale. The second characteristics of this bab is called intensive action. What is intensive action? Is where an action is done with great force or great intensity. So we need to understand extensive done on a large scale. Intensive is because it is done with a great force. So what are these two called in Arabic? So extensive is called takthir. Takthir, you can see it comes from kathir, so more. So it where the action is done on more objects. I'm just trying to bring here that one person is doing performing the action on the many objects. So that is what it shows here. This is at-taksir is where the action is performed on many objects. The same action is performed on many objects. So you got to remember that. What is intensive? Intensive is called mubalagha. Mubalagha means where you exaggerate, overdo something. Let's so mubalagha, what is, how do we describe mubalagha? Here, mubalagha, here the action is most of the time it's done only once, but it's done with the great force to that object. So that is the difference between extensive and intensive. Extensive is done on a large scale. So the same action performed on many objects, whereas the intensive is only once, but it is done with a great force. That's the difference we got to remember, inshallah. So we have at-takthir and al-mubalagha. So let's gonna see what Dr. Abdul Rahim has to say about this. For example, Jawwaltu fi mashariq al-ardi wa magharibiha. Jala is to travel. Jawwala is to extensively travel. So you travel to many places. So fi mashariq al-ardi wa magharibiha, in the east and west part of the world. I, what does it means? Jultu. Jala jultu. So fiha kasi yunqalu al-fi'lu ila babi fa'ala lima'anin minha. When it is changed, the fa'al into bab fa'ala, so it carries two meanings. One is taksir or mubalagha, or mubalagha. So taksir is extensive, you got to remember, and al mubalagha is the intensive. Example, fatahtul baba. So example we have fatahtul baba, I opened the door. But if you open many doors, what do you say? You say fatahtu. So what do you say? Fatahtul abwab al-fusuli. So here, what do we see the difference here? So when you see here, the mafulun bihi is singular, fatahtu. So I opened one door, or I opened one door. But when you go here, fatahtu, when it is extensive, when it is taksir, the maf'ulun bihi will be in plural because you're doing on many objects. Abwaba, so I opened all the doors of the class. That could be one of the meanings, or I opened many doors of the class. So here most of the time you will have a plural noun. So I open the doors, and here it will be I open the door. Adda. Adda is to count. Adda rajulu. So the man counted. What did he count? Maluhu. Maluhu. Here it means the man counted his money only once. Adda. So now if you want to change this into form 2, what do we do? So we know this is muda'af. So you have to break the idgham, then you have to give a shadda to the ayn kalima. And what it becomes? It becomes addada. So what is addada? Addada is to count again and again, again and again. So the man counted his money again repeatedly. So that's what it is. The meaning changes. Kasartu. Kasara is to break. So now here the meaning changes. So kasartul koba. So I broke the cup. I broke the cup. But if you say kasartul koba, so I smashed, I broke, not only broke it, I broke it or broke it into many pieces. So here it is intensivity. So what is one of the indications, like clue to say whether it is extensive or intensive, is that the maf'ulun bihi will be singular. When an action is performed by form 2 and you have a singular maf'ulun bihi, then that most of the time it will be a intensive, al-mubalagha. So where you exaggerate, you smash something. Here you just broke it probably in 2 pieces, but here kasartu, you broke it into many pieces. So one more example, qata'a. Qata'a is to cut. Qata'atu, I cut the What is habla? Habla means rope. Qata'tul habla, I cut the rope. But if you want to break it into form 2, and if you still have the singular maf'ulun bihi, that means qatta'tul habla, that means I cut the rope into many pieces. I shred it apart. So that's the thing. So you do it in great intensity on one object. So note that the extensive action affects a number of objects or one object a number of times. Okay, it could be one object, the at-taksir, but the action will be done many times over the same object. Whereas in intensive, it affects only one object and it affects only once. You smash it only once, but with a great force. So that's the difference between takthir and mubalagha. Let's do some example and find it inshallah. Jawwala. So what does jawwala means? Here I jala kasiran. That means he traveled extensively. Tawwafa. Tawwafa means he is to perform the, but tafa is to perform tawaf. Tawwafa means he is performed many tawafs. So I tafa kasiran. Qattala. I balagha fil qatli. So it is intensity in killing. It could also be taksir, where you kill many people, like massacre. Kassara. Kassara, again it is with one shot you smash the cup. So it is balagha fil kasri. So you do exaggeration in breaking. Qatta'a. Again qatta'a is, if it is singular noun, it will be balagha. Ay balagha fil qat'i. Addada. So what did he do? He did the same action. So here he is doing the repeatedly. Kasir, it is taksir. So repeating the action again and again. Addada. So now if you just look at this example here, it says kasartul aqlama. So if you notice the aqlama, it is a plural noun. So what does the plural noun indicate? Plural maf'ulun bihi. That it is taksir. Taksir, because it is done on many pens. I broke many pens. So it is taksir. But if you say kasartul qalama, I smashed the pen into many pieces. So here it is one pen smashed into many pieces, whereas kasartul aqlama, that means I broke many pens. So that's the subtle difference between the nouns, what they come, that will give you the meaning of the verb, inshallah. I hope this is clear. So let's take some examples from the Quran. So في التنزيل إن الذين كذبوا بآياتنا واستكبروا عنها لا تفت لهم أبواب الأسماء ولا يدخلون الجنة حتى يلج الجمل في سم الخياط. MashaAllah, this is very beautiful how Allah explains to us. This is let's do a quick analysis. So what are we looking here? We are looking for form 2, and we're looking whether it is a takthir or it is a mubalagha. So go to the form 2 now. What do we have here? So we're just going to do a quick translation and do the verbs which you are interested in this lesson, inshallah. So in the lazina, so those of who kazzabu. Kazzabu is, kaziba is to lie. Kazzabu means is lie repeatedly. Those who repeatedly deny what? Bi ayatina. This is what Allah says here. So just by using this verb, so it says that they were presented with the truth many times, and every time they rejected, they discarded. And what happens? Wastakbaru, and they become proud. Istakbara, yastakbaru is to become proud. Anha, and they're boasting about it. And for those, what happens? La tufattahu. So fataha is open. Fattaha is to open many doors. So here if you see fattaha yufattihu, that is your fa'al mudariya ma'loom. But here what do we have? We have fatha here. So fatha indicates that it is majhul. It will not be open. What will not be open? La tufattahu. It will not be open for them. What? Abwabu. So see abwabu marfu, that is your naib file for tufattahu. So now if you see, we have abwabu, again it is a plural noun. That means this file here, fattaha, That is the root, that is your taksir. So the doors of heavens, does the heaven have only one door? There are many doors. So this is taksir. The doors of heavens will not be open. وَلَا يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ, and they will not enter the Jannah. Until when? Is there a possibility? Here is a kind of sarcasm from Allah. He says, yes, there is a possibility. When is it? Hatta, until. Yalija, walaja, yaliju is to pass by. So what does pass by? So what is the fa'il here? Jamalu. Jamalu is your camel. So until the camel passes. Camel passes where? Fi sammil khiyati. Khiyati means a needle. And what is sammi is the hole. So until a camel passes the needle hole, up until then the doors of heaven will not be open for them. Allazi jama'a malahu wa addada. So the one who collected his wealth, jama'a malahu, and what did he do? Wa addadahu. A miser, no, he counted repeatedly. He did not want to give anything away. He wanted to keep everything for himself. Allazi jama'a malahu wa addada. Qala. So this is Fir'aun saying, Sanuqattilu abna'ahum. So again we need to find out what is the type of fa'il here. Sa is your harful istiqbal. Qattala yuqattilu. Qatala means is to kill. Qattala means is to massacre on a large scale. So here he is telling, Sanuqattilu, we will massacre. So we have to look for the maf'ulun bihi. Is this plural maf'ulun bihi? Yes, it is abna'a. So this tells us that this is a characteristic of extensive action. That this killing will be done on a large scale, on many kids. Abna'ahum, on their children. Wa ghallaqatil abwaba is from Surah Yusuf, where Imratul Aziz, the wife of Aziz, tries to lure Prophet Yusuf salam. So what does she do? So وَغَلَّقَتِلْ غَلَّقَتْ. غَلَقَ is to close, and غَلَّقَ is again to close many things. What are here? Close أَبْوَابَ. Close the doors. Is it one or many? There are many doors. So what type of characteristic does this fa'il have? This has a taksir, the extensive, where she closed all the doors. How do we know it is she? Because we can see there is a taw تانسية وغلقت الأبواب فجعلناهم أحاديث ومزقناهم كل ممزق. فجعلناهم, so we made them. So made them what? Ahadisa. So all those nations of disbelievers, what did Allah do to them? So He made them narrations. So there's no history for them. So they just in tales. There's nothing. There's no trace of them left in this world. Allah has made them history. You can say فَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَحَادِيثَ وَمَزَّقْنَاهُم. What is mazzaqa? Mazzaqa is to shred out, to tear apart. So here it is mubalagha. So let's say the kulla mumazzaqin. So very interesting noun here. So we have a mazzaq is your fa'il, and we have a mumazzaq. That is your, it is a maf'ulun mutlaq, but we know maf'ulun mutlaq is mansub. Here it is coming as a mudaf ilayhi, so we call kulla as your maf'ulun mutlaq. So we're going to study in detail inshallah when we go to maf'ulun mutlaq class. It's just a kind of brief touching upon it. So let's say we're going to shred them, kulla, just to emphasize, kulla mumazzaqin. Wa iz najjaynakum min aali fir'auna yasumunakum su'al azabi yudhabbihuna abna'akum. So again we need to see is, it means to remember. There is a fa'il before it, that is uzkur, remember when. Najjaynakum. So najja, yunajji. So again when mutaharrik pronouns comes, it means najjayta, najjaytuma, najjaytum, najjayti, najjaytuma, najjaytunna, najjayna. So we saved you. Saved from whom? Min ali fir'auna, from Fir'aun and his group. Yasumunakum. So what were they doing? Sama yasumu, to inflict. So what is they were inflicting upon you? What? Su al-azabi, a very severe punishment, you can say. So what were they doing? Yuzabbihuna. Zabiha is to slaughter, one thing. But zabbaha is to massacre. So what were they massacring? You zabbihuna. They were massacring abna'akum, your children. What type of characteristic is this? This is takthir. Excellent. Very good. That brings to the section of taksir and mubalagha. So I hope you should be able to recognize when we see a maf'ulun bihi, what type of object we have, and then know that what is it is talking about the many people, or it's talking about one with the mubalagha with great intensity. So next we know iya. So what is iya? So we briefly touched upon in our previous class. So iya is actually you're warning somebody, is you're prohibiting somebody. So when you prohibit, that means you don't want that person to do certain action. And what is it's called in Arabic? It's called tahzir. Tahzir is to warn. Hazzara, you hazziru. Tahzir, it is your masdar. Bab taf'il. So when you're warning somebody, that means the person is in front of you, whether it is male, female, singular, dual, plural. So it is in the second person. So what are the second person we have? Yep. Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. So these are the people, a group of people with whom iya will be used. So now this iya, how do we know whether it is tahzir or it is coming as a support for a maf'ulun bihi? For example, we gave you in the previous class, we said, Iyaka na'abudu. So we say, to you only we worship. So how do we know this iya is not coming as a support for maf'ulun bihi? Is that, so that iya will be followed by a fa'al. Iya, there is a damir attached, iyaka kakumakum, and there will be a fa'al. But this iya, the with of tahzir, it is followed by wow. It is followed by wow, and this following continues, and wow is followed by what noun? Is it marfu mansub? It is mansub noun. So when you see iya, when you see wow, and when you see mansub noun, then you be sure that it is a tahzir. It is a prohibition. So let's see what Dr. Abdurrahim has to say. Iyaka wal kilaba. So here what we do is the pronouns anta, antuma, antum will be used in their mansub or majroor form, which is kakumakum, kikuma, kunna. So if it is anta, it will be iyaka wal kilaba. So the one is in front of you, you say stay away. So what does it mean? Stay away. Stay away from dog. So that is how you would translate. So wow followed by mansub noun. You need to keep it in mind. So that's your attached pronoun. Beware of dogs. So note that the noun after the wow is mansub. Iyaka is for masculine singular, and for masculine plural it will be iyakum. And similarly for the sixth pronoun, it will be kakumakum, kikuma, kunna. Iyaka was zanna, and you stay away from guessing. هذا التحذير, this is a warning. وهو تنبيه المخاطب على أمر مكروه ليجتنبه. So what does it mean here? So, and it is to draw attention of the person who is being talked. Mukhatab is the one who is being addressed. Mukhatib, the one who is addressing, and Mukhatab is the addressee. So what is the fa'al here? So when we see mu, we should know that it is a mazid fihi, and khataba, that is your form 3. Very soon in our next chapter we'll be doing form 3. So we khataba, yukhatibu, wa huwa mukhatib, and ism maf'ul will be mukhatab. So, and it is to seek attention of the one who is being addressed, ala amrin makruh, towards the act that is disliked. Makruh is to dislike. Li yajtanibahu. What is yajtanibahu? Again, what type of file is it? Ijtanaba is iftala form 8. What is the file here? Ijtanaba. Ijtanaba is to avoid. So what you're telling here, this is to seek attention of the person being addressed to the work which has been disliked, to avoid it, to stay away from it. Waha'a amsilatan lahu. So ha'a means khuz, take, and take examples for it. Iyaka wal kilaba ya bunayya. So you're addressing who? Your son. So it's a singular. So you use iyaka. So that is the main exercise here. So where we use appropriate damir and we use wow and there's a mansoob now. These are the three things which you got to remember, inshallah. So if it is bunayya, ya bunayya, so it's iyaka wal kilaba, stay away or beware of dog, oh my son. Iyakum, who is being addressed to? Ya abna'i, to children, to sons. So stay away from dog or beware of dog. So it doesn't, you don't have to translate like iyakums, you don't have to translate it into dogs. So we still translate as a dog, stay away from dog, ya abna'i. Iyaki wal kilaba ya binti. So if it is anti, it will be iyaki. Iyakunna, so all of you stay away or beware of dog, ya banati, or my daughters. So Ali in front of you, so what do you say? Iyaka, iyaka wa hadha al-walada fa innahu kazzabun. So stay away from this boy. So this is a ismu ishara followed by al, which is badal. So this boy, stay away from this boy, fa innahu, and truly he is kazzabun. And again, what is kazzabun? Who? It is, what characteristic does it have? It is have a taksir, because he repeatedly over and over again he keeps lying. Iyaka wal kasala. Wal kasala means laziness. So stay away from laziness. So now we need to see it is Zainabu. It is ya Zainabu. So it is feminine. So it will be iyaki. Iyaki wal kasla ya Zainaba. Iyakum. So who is it been addressed to? It is addressed to all of you. So it is a statement. Iyakum wat tadkhina. So what is the tadkhin means? Tadkhin means to smoke. So what is the fa'al here? It is dakhana. So dakhana fa'innahu. So who refers to tadkhin? Truly the smoking is sababu amradin muhlikatin. So it is the reason for the deadly diseases. So smoking is the reason for deadly diseases. Iyakunna. So it is ya akhwati. So sisters. So oh my sisters. Iyakunna wa hadhihi al-majallat. So stay away from these magazines. So most of the magazines, they have all junk filled in. Qala an-nabiy sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Iyakum wal hasada. All of you, addressing it to us. So we're present, or even if they're not present at these times when we read this hadith, it is for us. So stay away from hasada, from jealousy. فَإِنَّ الْحَسَدَ, and truly jealousy, يَأْكُلُ الْحَسَنَاتِ. So akala ya'kulu, it eats away the good deeds, hasanat. Kama ta'kulun narul hataba. Like how the fire eats the wood. How the fire eats away the wood. Similarly, the jealousy eats away your good deeds. So stay away from, beware of jealousy. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Again, Prophet Muhammad said, Iyyakum wal julusa bit turuqat. Iyyakum wal julusa bit turuqat. So stay away or beware of sitting. So here like julus means jalasa yajlusu julusun. So stay away from sitting in the roads. So do not sit in the roads. Do not cause nuisance. وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم وإياكم ومحدثات الأمور فإنهم دلالة. So stay away from what? What is muhdasat? Muhdasat comes from hadasu. Hadith means to new. So stay away from the making new matters. So making innovations basically. That's what it means here. So فَإِنَّهَا, so truly it is dalalatun. It is a misguidance. What is dalalatun means? Misguidance. So stay away from innovating new matters in the matter of religion. So kawin amsalatil litahzir musta'milan kalimatil atiyati. So we have to make the following example in a tahzir, in a warning, to seek attention. As-sufur ya akhawati. What is as-sufur? As-sufur is to beautify or to adorn yourself. Okay, so when you adorn too much, so you're warning the sisters. So what do you say? Akhawati is plural, so it will be iyakunna. They say, Iyakunna was-sufura ya akhawati. Very good. So let's try another one. So here we're talking to Ya Usman and it is Kazibu. So Kazibu is again, it is lying. So what do you say? Iyaka. So Usman is in front of you. Iyaka wal kadhiba ya Usman. Very good. Al hasadu, jealousy. Ya Azzatu. So what is azza? It is a name of a female. So in front of you, feminine. So it's a iyaki. Very good. Iyaki wal hasada. Wal hasada ya azza. An namimatu ya akhawayya. So what is an-namimatu? An-namimatu means gossiping. So you're just talking away useless things. So ya akhawayya. So what is akhawayya? So if you see akhawayya, so it has ya with the shadda. So why does the ya with the shadda come? So we need to remember. So we did this in duels. So it will be akhawani, two brothers. So if you make it mansub, it will be akhawayni. So we know when a harf nida comes, if it is mudaf ilayhi, so it becomes, and when it becomes mudaf, the noon is dropped. So now we have akhawai plus ya mutakallim. So we have two yas coming together, so it becomes shadda. So ya akhawayya. So what do you say? Iyakuma. There are duels. So that's the difference here. Iyakuma and wan namimata ya akhawayya. النزول من الحافلة وهي تسير يا أطفال. So ya atfal means you are addressing the kids. It's a plural. Tiflun singular, atfal is plural. So you're telling the kids. So you say iyyakum. Iyyakum wan nuzula. So stay away from getting down. Min al hafilati, from the bus. Wahiya tasir, while it is moving. Do not get down. At-tabarruju. What is tabarruju means? Tabarruju means wearing really expensive branded clothes. So you're hooked to branded clothes. So you're warning them. Who are you warning to? Yeah, bintayya. So bintun is daughter. Bintani is your two daughters. So bintayya, my two daughters. So how do you say? Iyakuma. Iyakuma wat tabarruja ya bintayya. Very good. Al-bid'atu ayyuhal muslimun. So it's addressed to all the Muslims, plural. So it will be iyyakum. Iyyakum wal bid'ata. So stay away from innovation. So now quickly we're going to do about innama. So we're not going to drag too much. So we know about inna. So it is related to inna, but it has got its own speciality and its meaning, which we're going to learn now. So it comes from inna, to which plus ma is attached. So we can say inna plus ma is attached. So we know inna, it comes in jumlatul ismiya, and it has two things. What does it have? It has ism and it has khabar. So we know isma inna is mansub and khabar inna is marfu. So when this ma is attached, what happens? So when the ma comes, it takes away that property of giving mansub. So inna can no longer make any noun mansub because this ma is attached to it. So what is this ma called as? It's called mal kafa. Mal kafa. That means it stops the ma from giving nasab. It is called preventative ma, you can say. So now that we know jumlatul inna comes and attaches itself to jumlatul ismiya, what about innama? Innama, it can come both in jumlatul ismiya and jumlatul fi'liya. So we're going to do some example and just learn more about it. So tufidu innama ta'yin. So what does it indicate, innama? Why do we use? We use innama for specificity. Why is ta'yin? It's come from ayyana, to specify, for specificity. So وَيُوجِبُ إِثْبَاتَ الْحُكْمِ الْمَذْكُورِ, and it is used to prove the judgment. That means whatever the thing you're talking about using innama, and when you give explanation to it, and that is what it confines it to. It's good. What it makes is isbatul hukmi al-maskur. So isbat al-hukmi means proving of the judgment that is in question. That means when you use innama to talk about something, and whatever you're talking it about, it is completely circled around it. That means the thing, it confines the matter to what is being said. وَنَفْيَ غَيْرِ هَذِي الْحُكْمِ عَنْهُ. So it negates every other thing that could be possible with it is negated, and the only thing which is mentioned in the sentence is the only thing which is related to the thing which is being talked about. Let's take one example. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّةِ. So what is being talked about here? See, we are talking about a'mal. So we're giving some statement about a'mal. What is the a'mal? Is bin niyyah. So when you say that the deeds are based on the intention, so when you use innama, only and only and only based on intention is your the deeds. There's nothing else. Everything else is negated. That is what it means. So when innama comes, it negates every single thing about that thing. So the deeds can only be judged with niyyah, with the intention. So let's take one more example. Innama sadaqat. So sadaqat, truly sadaqat. What about sadaqat? So we need to lil fuqara. So when Allah says the sadaqat is for fuqara, it is only and only and only for the fuqara, for the poor and needy. So nobody, nothing else can be called sadaqat except it is given to the poor and needy. That is what it innama gives. It gives that exclusivity to that sentence. So another beautiful ayah from the Quran says, "Innama ya'murul masajid Allahi." Innama, truly. What is amara? Ya'muru means to look after. To look after what? It continues. The masajid Allahi. So truly looking after the masjids of Allah. So what about it? So now we are going to put a seal around it. So only and only Man amana billahi wal yawmil akhir. Only those who believe in Allah and in the day of judgment can look after, can caretake the masjid of Allah. Nobody else. There can't be anybody else can be given the responsibility. That is what the innama, that brings the exclusivity to the sentence here. So that brings us to the end of class 66. That's a bit lengthy class, but a lot of concepts which we have covered. So especially innama, we got to remember that it brings the exclusivity and that confines the statement to what is being talked about. So I hope it is clear. So we're going to do more practice, and when we open the Quran, inshallah, it should make it more sense. I'll see you again in our next class. Until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.